How does the rest of the book proceed from there?
Well, it was amazing. Going back into the Zambezi Valley was literally like flying back into my childhood and youth. I was therefore able to structure the book going from the present to the past and then back again. And then as I fly back to America after leaving the Zambezi Valley, it dovetails together the past and the present as I remember immigrating to America in 1992. And then I'm able to take it chronologically through to the end, and the end actually goes back to the beginning, and the reader then finds out what I was doing in the Zambezi Valley in the first place. And it sounds strange, but it actually works quite well, I hope.
Well, one of the reasons you were in Africa was to get some footage for the documentary that you and I are working on for your first book. And while you were there, you had a chance to get some very dramatic and unexpected footage that I've gotten to see. It's real exciting. And I know that's part of your new book. Do you happen to have anything else from the book that you can read?
I do, and it was to get some footage for this part of the book, but also for the documentary so that I could show people why leaving Africa was so difficult for me. But I got footage that I was just above and beyond anything I dreamed of. So if I can read that.
Absolutely. I've seen this footage. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I'm in my tent, getting a warm top, when I'm startled by a noise close behind me. Framed in the gauze window of my tent, a huge bull elephant is grazing on a small bush only about 6 feet away from me. We've been told that a lone elephant has been coming into the camp for about 3 years, drawn by the plentiful pods on the trees. Nicknamed Oliver, we're advised that it's safe to cross quietly from tent to tent while he's in the camp, but we must remember that he's wild and we must not attempt to approach him. However, about 4 months ago, 2 more bull elephants started coming into the camp to enjoy the pods. These elephants are young and unpredictable. We've been warned not to go near them and to avoid walking around the campsite when they're there. Reaching quietly for the camera on my bed, I quickly look through the other tent windows to see if I can see another elephant. Reassured that there is only one, and this must be the calmer Oliver, I take a couple of still photographs before swapping cameras. He turns and begins to walk away as I begin filming. I go quietly out of my tent and step off the small veranda to film him walking away from me, then quickly go back into my tent, out the other side and into my shower area. Putting the toilet seat down, I climb onto it. I actually, if I could just say at this time, the shower and toilet area were outside the tent in the open and just had a privacy fence around, just a thatched privacy fence. That's explained in my book, but just to let you know, that's where I was going. So putting the toilet seat down, I climb onto it and look over the tree that leans against the thatched modesty fence surrounding my bathroom space. I'm thrilled to capture the elephant on film as he walks under the tree and away from me. A swishing sound followed by a series of light thuds distracts my mind for an instant, but I'm enthralled by the elephant walking behind the tree and concentrate as I film him. As I switch my camcorder off, a movement to my left catches my eye, and I turn to see another elephant standing near the kitchen area. I switch the camcorder on again and film him as he pushes past a bush and ambles around a tree looking for fallen pods. I realize the strange sounds I'd heard earlier was this elephant shaking the tree to make the pods fall. These are the 2 young, unpredictable elephants we've been warned about. The large tree I'm leaning on gives me a feeling of security, and I'm glad it's between me and them. The second elephant picks up a pod with his trunk and puts it into his mouth, then suddenly shakes his head and turns and walks straight towards me. I'm captivated as I film him, but I'm also aware that the thatched modesty fence is very flimsy and would afford no protection at all should the elephant charge. He walks under the tree I'm leaning on, and knowing I mustn't make a sound or do anything that may startle him, I hold on to the top of the thatch to steady myself as I turn to film him coming out the other side. When I lift the camera, the elephant's tusks appear on each side of the tree so close that I can't fit them completely into the frame of the viewfinder. With amazement and awe, I continue to film as the elephant puts his forehead onto the tree and shakes it. Pods fall all around us. It's incredible. and the elephant steps back and away from the tree just for a moment. He seems to look straight at me, 7 or 8 feet away, before turning back to the tree. Leaning his head against it, he shakes the tree again. His tusks are so close to me that if I leaned forward and reached up, I'd be able to touch them. More pods fall around us. Satisfied with his haul, the elephant begins picking up the pods and eating them. I can hardly believe what I've just experienced and can't wait to see the footage I've just filmed.
That's marvelous. It was visually exciting. The writing is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to your new book. Linda, thank you for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure, Jeff. Thank you for having me, and I hope people enjoy reading this book as much as I've enjoyed writing it.
And thank you for joining us today. I hope it's been as much of a pleasure for you as it has been for us.